It's your boy DF from the David Ford Collections, and you are tuning in to the Mars vs. Venus show. Out.
Greetings, citizens, and welcome to another episode of Mars vs. Venus. I am your host with the most, What's in Store with T. Moore, and boy, do we have a doozy of a show for you today. Fantastic show topics, awesome questions, and a phenomenal cast of characters. The co-hosts. Let's start the deduction, shall we?
Matasha.
Voice of reason.
I tell you, you gotta love it. Today's show is going to be very special. We have a special guest in the house, Mr. David Ford, aka DF. In the building. He will be joining us after the first break. How's it going?
Good.
Today's that day that you come to the part of the day where it's like, is it the weekend already? I'll tell you, it's hump day. How's your week been going for you so far?
Pretty good. Yeah. Getting back in the swing of things after the holidays and kids getting back in school.
I know you're happy about that one.
Oh, yeah.
What about you?
Same here. It's probably about 50% with me as far as the kids going back to school because it seems like I'm running more, getting up earlier.
Yeah.
Again, I could sleep in a little bit more long as the kids were still at home, you know. But so, yeah.
Kind of that same way for me because I think I was running more when they were home. My son playing games is almost like every other day. They went 7-0. Shout out to Coach Smith coaching those boys up, man. I'm very proud of those boys. But I'm happy they're back in school. And we're looking forward to what's coming up in the future, I'll tell you. We're going to dive into the meat of the show. Got some great questions, and we're going to fire off just like this. This question comes from Miss LaTanya Shaw. She's a loyal viewer. It's kind of gauged towards you, the women. Ladies, pick a father for your child. A man that pays $4,000 a month in child support and never around, lives 1,500 miles away, or father number two, a man that pays you $50 a month in child support, available daily, and helps you when needed?
I'd rather have the father that's around the $50 a month because I need you to be a, figure in his life. If you're 1,500 miles away, you can't be a figure. I mean, the money is, of course, going to be a positive. It's going to help take care of them, but it's not going to allow them to have a father around and know, what it is to actually have your love and get to know you as the person and have the memories and, the quality time. You won't be able to bond with them.
Great point. What you got, Adrian?
Man, I would be there for $50 a month. Paying that 4 stacks is crazy.
Absolutely.
I'd pick the kid up, come over, run his and her bathwater, do his homework. Right.
I tell you.
Everything else.
You got to look at it. Some women look at the kids as just a paycheck.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And $4,000 a month for one child is insane. I don't care what salary you're making. $4,000 a month. They feeding kids over in Africa for 35 cents.
Yeah.
Rice, water, bread.
I don't see why it's necessary to have to pay that much anyway, just because you make that amount. It doesn't take that much to raise a child a month. It doesn't take $4,000 a month.
You can buy that.
Right.
Right. They got build a bear, build a dad.
Mm-hmm. And that's basically what you're doing.
Here's another one. Name a non-sexual act or thing that turns you on.
It's not like a thing. I like to be laughter, like to have a good time like that. Yeah, I have a big sense of humor, so I want to laugh with my partner. I want to, laughter.
That turns you on?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. No, it turns me on that, or to see, like, to watch a man cook. I love to watch a man cook. It's very sexy to me.
Like the Baby Boy movie? Cook, sing, or like,
No.
Oh, okay.
No, a man that really knows his
Like,
way
you want
around the
some eggs?
kitchen.
I don't
No.
know, man.
I mean, if you wake up in the morning, he makes you breakfast in bed, that's very attractive that he was,
Okay.
woke up with the thoughts of making me some breakfast. So I don't know.
What you got, Ed?
Man, good conversation, man.
Yes.
A woman with intellect, man, that's a wonderful thing. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I would have to agree with that. Conversation and a very well dressed woman. Mm-hmm. I love to see a woman that's dressed that's to the T.
Yeah. That's far more sexy, man, than some skimpy clothes.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Here's another one. If you could write a note to yourself, to your younger self, what would you say in only 2 words? That's a good one. That's a
You
great
can take
one.
it first if you want to.
Condom.
I will have the second number. I'm telling you.
No, man. I would probably say like love lightly, man, because you know what I mean. That's not even so much from a relationship as far as male female, just family, close friends. You just got to be careful, man, and guard your heart, man, when it comes to different situations and different times in your life, man. A lot of people have got hurt. A lot of people has a different perspective on things by falling too fast and loving people hard and loving the wrong people for the wrong things and loving them the right way when they're the wrong person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely. What about you, Matasha?
I don't even know, because 2 words is short, and I'm a talker. So, don't judge me. I'm saying stay educated. Yeah,
That's a
because you
good
can always learn more. In my younger self, I didn't really want to do that. I was doing other stuff. So I would say stay educated.
Mine would be more patience. Being a lot more patient, not so much of I got to get it now, I have to do it now, I have to see immediate results. So mine would be patience. The other one would probably be a better listener too. Listen more, because you never can stop learning. You learn something new every single day. If you're 150 years old, you can learn something new every single day.
Can I interject?
Go ahead.
You said 2 words. That was really 4. Yeah, so just because you're the host don't mean you cheat.
You
Right.
absolutely right.
Oh,
You know what? My math was. I went to Cleveland Public Schools. My math was bad.
You know what it is?
Yeah.
It's them shades, brother.
And speaking of these shades, these are the new line, the Panther 3s, as you can see, a.k.a. David Ford, a.k.a. DF.
They got some nice stuff too, man.
I'm telling you.
I was looking at that lineup, just the box that was open that I seen.
Yes. Oh, yeah. It's coming to a theater near you real
I got
soon.
2 words for that box. Jesus only. Put it that way. Tell you the truth.
Great point. Here's a question about roles, and this one is a great one. Should women take out the trash, cut the grass, shovel the snow, etc., when a man is living in the same household? Or should there be defined roles in the household? Or should both parties play equal role in the household? Because when you're dealing with certain situations or certain relationships, you got roles. You got that's a woman's job. That's a man's job. How do you feel about that?
I think it should be equal. I mean, I'm not gonna sit at home waiting for him to shovel the snow if he's at work. And say, he works 3rd shift. I'm like, well, I ain't gonna go out there and shovel the snow. That's his job.
That's actually a good
You know what I
point.
mean?
Yeah.
I think if it needs done, do it. Whoever sees it, just do it. Just take care of that. It shouldn't be one or the other.
Because I know women that would actually wait until that man gets home.
I shovel snow.
Yeah, that's a great point. What you got, Adrian?
I believe if both of them have an understanding in the beginning, and both of them have common sense, it was brought up right. You know naturally what you're supposed to do as a man, and she knows naturally what she's supposed to do as a woman. But in any relationship, there's always compromise.
True.
You had a long day, you tired. I'm gonna cook today. You know what I mean? if, just like you said, like the driveway needs to be shoveled and I'm just getting off of work, as long as it's not like 4 or 5 feet, you know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with shoveling or getting a snowblower or something.
That's true.
Even if you get it started, that shows me that you're really concerned about me. I'll finish it once I get to the house, you know what I mean?
Great point.
Yeah, it's just, man, it's just looking out for one another, to be honest.
I mean, the kitchen trash is overflowing. You're like, well, that's his job.
I like that in you, though. Rugged woman. I like that.
You know what? I got to piggyback on what you said a few shows ago. You said, and I'm speaking of The Voice, you said, be a man at all times. Mm-hmm. And that's probably one of the best quotes I've heard anyone say, because it's truth. Mm-hmm. You know, if you're a man, be a man at all times. Mm-hmm. You know, here's another question. Is a quote, and tell me what you guys think about it. Sometimes the one you want doesn't deserve you. You know, you may be head over heels about a girl who just won't settle down, or a man that won't settle down, has all the qualities that you're looking for, but that person just doesn't want to, you know, settle down, doesn't want to really be in a serious relationship, you know, things of that nature. What you got?
Yeah, I believe that's true. I mean, I've been through that myself, you know, wanting somebody that wasn't really something I should have wanted at the time. And, you know, it was when I was younger, you know, and he wasn't ready to be, you know, that person, you know. And also I had a kid, you know, when I was younger. So it's not always easy to walk into a relationship with somebody when you're young who has a kid. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I believe that.
What you got, Andrew?
Yeah, I believe you shouldn't be like that, you know. But I do say this, though. You let that person know, your partner, the other person, let them know that what you expect. And if they love you enough and they want that relationship, you know what I mean? Either they'll adapt to it, they'll change to try to make everything better, or if that's just who they are, you know, keep it moving.
Great point. We got to pause for the calls for station identity. Thank you for tuning in to Mars vs. Venus. Be back in 2 and 2.
Our town, our TV. Amherst City Cable.
Take my hand and start a brand new day. And together as one we'll start to see some change. Underneath everything we are, underneath everything we do, we are all people. Connected, interdependent, united. And when we reach out a hand to one, we can influence the condition of all. That's what it means to live united.
Where's my husband? Where's my husband?
Stop.
What's she doing? 2,
She was
3.
a passenger. I was deboned on the passenger side.
We just had some wine. I wasn't even drunk, I was just buzzed.
What? You were just buzzed. Well, so you didn't tell us that. In that case, she's just fine. Yeah, I'm fine.
Really?
No, not really.
Buzz driving. Maybe we should stop acting like it's no big deal.
When you earn your GED diploma, the barriers in your life fall. Earn your GED diploma and begin your brighter future.
Our town, our TV. Amherst City Cable.
Welcome back. This is Mars vs. Venus. I am your host with the most, What's in Store with T. Moore, and we have a very special guest joining us today, Mr. David Ford. David Ford has his own eyeline. What is it?
Eyewear.
Eyewear line.
Yes, sir.
Talk to us about the line. What made you want to start it, and some of the obstacles you had to overcome from coming out of Cleveland?
You know what? First of all, I created the line because as a kid, there was not many selections you can get for eyewear. You know, we didn't even know it was eyewear at that time. So, you know, you had to get basically what was out there. And, you know, variations, there's no variations in the market. You know, you can get your standard Ray-Ban, your Gucci's, and lines on down, but there's no really creative opportunities to get what you really want. You know, some of the adversities that we face with this is, you know, getting that support, you know, to build around the brand. But, you know, it comes with due time, and it has come, you know, and now our 3rd year, we're really getting a lot of support.
Wow. What makes your brand stand out from the other brands as far as like the Gucci and, you know, those other big names?
That's a good question. First, it's black owned. There's not many black owned African American designers of eyewear. That's number one. Number two, color variations. It's kind of like what you have on.
And these
You
are
know,
the what?
That is the Panther 3. Yeah, it's a very nice frame. You know, our color variations are some of the most different, wildest colors you're gonna see in eyewear.
What was some of the struggles being an entrepreneur, being black, coming from the city of Cleveland where people tend to not support their own? What were some of the biggest obstacles that you had to overcome to even get to the point where you are 3 years and up and running?
You know what? Making that decision that this is what you want to do. That's number one. You know, number two, don't be concerned so much of putting it back to your city for the support. You need support from your own self, and then you take it out to the masses.
Wow.
So learning that
Great
was the
point.
biggest point.
Okay. Who are some of the people that you've come across to support your eye?
You know what? Teddy Riley.
Check, baby, 1, 2,
That's
3.
correct.
Okay.
Biggie, 50 Cent,
50. Okay.
Sarah Oliver,
Nice.
and my girl Brandy Norwood.
I tell you. Those
you
are some big names.
Yeah.
What was their biggest wow factor?
You know what? I'll tell you, my favorite story would be Teddy Riley. He actually said he wasn't leaving Cleveland until I brought him some eyewear.
Wow.
And he didn't leave until I brought it.
Okay, so you met him here.
Absolutely. He requested that he meets me.
That
So
is
it was
awesome.
great.
That's huge. As far as like coming up, who designed your eyewear?
I design everything. I am a designer, you know, and I take that with just no qualms about it. I sit at my table each night and I design eyewear. That's my job.
Now, what do your ideas come from? Do you see like fashion and maybe want to just draw something towards that, or
Colors.
like colors?
Colors, seasonal colors. That's where all my ideas come from. And just thinking back to the old 70s movies. If you look at all my styles, like the style you have on, Carlito's Way, okay? That's a big, big plus for me to look back at the old 70s movies and bring those styles back.
That's a great point, because everything comes around.
Absolutely.
You got anything, Adrian?
No, man. I like his eye line, the line, man, the eyewear line. It's
Appreciate
really
it.
nice, man. Really nice. I was impressed by the samples and everything I seen, and what he had to offer, man. It's especially coming from a black-owned business, man. And it's true, you know what I mean? He's been 100% since we met him here, man. And it's good to meet people that's still down to earth, and they still got a big, vast, bright future ahead of them, man.
Appreciate it.
Kudos to you, man, and God's blessings on you, man.
Thank you, man.
For sure.
Anything, Matasha?
Just that it's really nice, and it's nice to see that you are a down to earth person, and you're doing big things and still being you.
Appreciate that.
Now, I seen that you were working with the seniors.
Absolutely.
Do you have any other events that's coming up that you want to put out to the people?
Actually, Friday, we're doing the Believe program at Fair Hill facilities.
Okay.
And actually, with the Believer program, we're giving away readers to the seniors.
Nice.
So at no charge, this is out of my pocket.
Nice.
I go around and actually fit seniors with the reader eyewear.
That is awesome. Anything else in the near future coming up as far as any events
Absolutely.
or anything you got going on you want to put out to the people?
Big photo shoot, Cleveland, Ohio.
Yes.
I'm bringing in Detroit, Atlanta, New York, and we're going to come together and we're going to create this big, massive photo shoot. And that's next weekend from the 15th to the 18th.
Nice.
So, you said you got people come from Detroit?
Yeah.
Wow. Anybody from Flint?
Not this time.
Okay.
Not this time.
Okay.
Anything as far as like inspiration wise, is this line catered towards adults, children? Do you touch the masses?
I touch the masses. I haven't started with the children yet, but we absolutely touch the masses. So basically from your 13 all the way up to 99 can absolutely wear any of my eyewear.
Awesome. Wow. Awesome. Do you have any future endeavors of not just doing eyewear, but maybe fashion, maybe
Absolutely.
T-shirts, hoodies, jeans, watches, jewelry?
We actually dabbled in that. So we have dress shirts, we have shirts, we have T-shirts, we have hats. You know, I pushed back on that to really make sure that this second line needed to be what it was going to be.
Okay.
So, you know, we made sure it was perfect.
Okay.
You know, I wanted perfection.
Yeah. Any Twitter handles, any information you want to put out to the people?
Absolutely. Instagram, official_DavidFordCollections.com. Website, www.davidfordcollections.com. Google me, davidfordcollections.com. You can catch me on any internet.
That is awesome. Well, we're going to have you stay up here with us and join in the fun. We're going to dive right back into the meat of the show with these great questions. And here we go. When you're amongst your group, your friends, family, what role do you play in the group when you're with your friends or family? And here's the options. Are you the troublemaker? Are you the flirter, the commentator, or the liker? Like, you just, everybody passes you like, yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that. Like that. What you got, Adrian?
I'm every one of them people at one time or another. Every one of them.
Everyone?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
What you got, Matasha?
Yeah, I'm every single one of them. I can be a troublemaker most of the time, though.
You look like that too.
I am. I am.
Now, during the break, we had something very special come up. Mr. Adrian actually named your friend.
Yeah.
What's the name of the friend?
My sweater?
Yeah.
Templeton.
I'll tell you. What you got,
I
Dave?
like that in you, T-Moore.
Out of your friends and family, which role do you play?
I'm usually the commentator.
The commentator?
I am the commentator.
Okay.
You know, I like to give that bit of advice. So, you know, I'm play-by-play.
Okay, all right. I would say I'm the same way when it comes to that. Absolutely. Here's another one. Let's see.
Man, I like them frames. I like them frames, man.
These are the Panther 3 frames. I usually don't do stunning shades, but I had to.
You had to.
They was calling me. You know, hats are usually my thing. I took off my hat to wear these frames.
Dude, you know what's so crazy though? I'm gonna talk to him as soon as the show's over.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna order them for my prescription, bro.
Oh, that's
Because I got to. Especially like when I my at work, all black suit on, man, with them.
Oh my.
It was
Man,
you,
please.
killer.
Funeral.
Man, funeral. All black with them on? Somebody gonna wake up. Somebody waking up.
Oh my God. Okay. Now here's a good one, and this one actually came from a loyal viewer of ours, Miss Latanya Shaw. Once again, she always hits me with great questions. Who comes first in a man's life? A wife, your mom, the mother of your child, or your daughter? That's a great.
You should never even said the mother of your child, because that's to get somebody beat up. Especially if you got a girl and a mama.
Somebody
you get beat
curly?
up. I'd say daughter.
Daughter?
Bottom line.
Out of those options, the wife, mom, mother of child, daughter. Who comes first for you, Dave?
If I had a daughter, it would have to be my daughter first.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Now we're going to flip it for you, Miss Matasha. Who comes first in a woman's life? The husband, baby father, the father, or the son?
My son.
The son?
Yeah.
Now, if you're going to the biblical, I believe they call it, I think, the Holy Ghost. Hey, man. I believe the word is, I think it's your wife or your husband if you're married. Is that right?
He's the head of the house.
He's the head of the house. So does that mean he comes first?
No, because in the scripture it tells you too, once you become one with your companion, you're supposed to leave your home, your parents, and and that's your new unit.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, if your husband and wife, then the husband becomes the head of that household.
Okay.
Now your mom and dad, you still love them,
Right.
But they have no jurisdiction over your household.
That's why this guy's the voice of reason. I tell you, he drops knowledge. What you got, in your opinion, who would be first in that situation?
Absolutely. Same way. I mean, child first.
Yep.
Before anybody. You know, you got to raise your seed.
Absolutely.
So, you know, then comes your wife and then your mom.
That could be very, 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 very tricky. If you have an involved mother, you know, those situations get kind of out of hand, especially if your wife, if you're married or engaged, feels a certain type of way about that. That can become a problem if you allow that. If, like, some people say you have mama's boys, and you always hear about those situations as far as a wife feeling a certain type of way because he's always running to mom, always going to mom for advice, and really feeling a certain type of way. But if you're building within your own home, building your foundation, and you're setting your own standards and living by your own principles inside your own home, then I believe the wife should be first, because this is who you're laying with. You don't love your mother any less.
Right.
You know, you're just trying to build what, you know, you've seen your mom do, you know. And what's your thoughts on it? What you got on that?
You could be a mama's boy, man, and still take care of your house. You know what I mean? It's not about running back to your mom and telling her everything that's going on, because that's not being a mama's boy. That's just being a straight up punk, period. You know what I mean? But a lot of times, if you're a mama's boy in the right way, man, that's just going to teach you how to treat your woman.
Absolutely. That's a great point.
You're going to treat your woman the way you want your mama to be treated.
You're learning how to be a gentleman.
That's it.
How to court a woman.
That's it.
Any parting shots before we get out of here?
Oh, no, I'm just, you know, hey, everybody, and thanks for, you know, keeping up with us and staying loyal to the show. And, you know, thank you for coming and being with us and sharing your eyewear with us. And it's nice to meet you.
Appreciate it.
What you got, Adrian?
I just want to commend Matasha for keeping Templeton so well behaved. And shout out to everybody that watches the show and supports us, man. Much love.
You got anything, Dave, for the people?
You know, appreciate you guys. Everybody.
Appreciate having you, man.
Period. That can hear me. You know, follow the brand. And I appreciate you guys for having me on.
Absolutely. I just want to say to our viewers, please continue to support us. We got big things coming in 2016. Believe me, we are expanding. Also, stay tuned to Since1974radio.com. My man Ty House is doing big things.
Yeah.
I mean, he's hitting homers. It's like he's touching all the bases there, buddy.
Yes, sir.
And like I say at this time, all the time, when you're having fun, it gets late early. Deuce.
Especially with them shades on.